Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Pastor Jay, and I am here at the Southern New England Ministry Network offices, and I am doing this video just before I go into my ordination interview. It's been a long time in coming. I've been a pastor for something like 25 or maybe even 30 years, and close to 30 years, and this is my ordination interview. For a while, it was something I never even dreamed that I would be getting to, but here we are today. And it's kind of an interesting uh, segue into our topic today. This is a Notes from the Vicarage post, and we are doing a series right now on Notes from the Vicarage about how we're going to do it. And if you remember, a few days ago, I posted how if we are going to accomplish, and by we, I don't just mean me and my family, but I mean we as the larger body of Christ, we as citizens of communities all across the United States and even across the world, if we are going to accomplish everything we set our minds to, or everything that's in our bucket list, or everything that's on our goal list, or if you're a Christian, then everything that God has called you to, then there are certain principles we're going to have to practice and follow if we are going to succeed at the bigger vision that life is trying to hand us. And a couple days ago, I started the series by saying if we are truly going to accomplish everything that we were created to accomplish, if we are going to accomplish everything that's in our bigger vision as people, or if we are going to accomplish everything that God has called us to, then we need to realize we aren't going to do that alone. We're going to need to build partnerships. But today I want to talk about another practice, another discipline that we are going to need to practice. I need to practice if I am going to succeed at the vision God has given me. If I'm going to accomplish all that God has given me, if you're going to accomplish all that God has given you to do, then yes, you need to build partnerships. But number two, you need to learn a work-life balance. This is something I've always struggled with, and there have been portions of my life that I've done better at it than others, and there have been portions of my life when I have been a complete train wreck, a disaster, a dumpster fire, whatever you want to call it. There have been moments where I have totally lost control of my work-life balance. But it's very important that we learn what our individual work-life balance is. There's no such thing as a cookie-cutter work-life balance. People can write books about it, people can create systems, and their suggestions and their systems are wonderful. They work for them, and a modified version may work for you, but just because someone's work-life balance system works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You have to discover your own work-life balance. So I said today was a great segue into our subject for today. So I want to give you an example of how I've discovered I work best in my work-life balance. So first of all, I'm an introvert who's a pastor. Now, being a pastor means your work is people. It's not tasks or projects. However many tasks or projects we may have as pastors, they are all people-oriented. They are all relationship-driven. There was one point in my life where I said, basically, I am a professional meetinger. I just have meeting after meeting after meeting. And today is a great example of that. I started at 6 a.m. with our Jesus 45 prayer meeting. After that, I went home and did some chores, household chores around the Forest Garden Farm. And then I went into staff meeting. And then I went home and I did some more Forest Garden Farm chores. I collected eggs from the chickens, and I cleaned the chicken pen before I came to this meeting. And after this meeting, I'm back on the road again, and then I've got to go lead worship for youth ministry. So the work-life balance is, for me, doesn't just happen on a daily basis. Each day is a little bit different. Now tomorrow's my day off. Yesterday was my writing day, so that was my day to write my sermon, write my worship services for the week, begin to plan my prayer meetings and my other meetings for the week, and to begin to do some necessary reading and studying. And so it was more of an inward day. I only had one service yesterday, and that was a worship service. I was leading worship at the prayer room. But then Sunday, I was out from 8 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon at Sunday morning service, and I was doing personal relationship with, 160 people. And how do you do that? Well, you go to church and you'll find out how you do personal relationship with 160 people. But I came home from that exhausted. And Sundays generally wears me out. It's our biggest service of the week. There's lots of energy. There's lots of people. There's lots to do. I prayed with probably 50 people that day. I didn't even preach. I just got up and I did the transition and did some announcements and whatnot, and then I prayed over people. So Sundays is a big day. One of the things I've learned is if I'm going to have a healthy work-life balance, I can't run from the work on Sunday and do a big event that night or even on Monday. For me, Monday has to be a low-key day. If I don't guard that day, if I have to run right out the door and start doing people work again on Monday morning, I haven't recuperated yet from Sunday. And so I need to take a rest. Today, my day started at 2 a.m. I started with prayer at 2 a.m. and I'm going to be going until about 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, I can't make it a heavy work day. I've got to really take my day off. I'm going to have to sit and bask in the presence of the Lord and spend some extra time in slow, constant, intentional prayer, not heavy intercession, not making phone calls, not praying with people on the phone. I need to just sit in the presence of the Lord and be quiet. I'm going to need to do some leisure time reading, nothing too taxing for the brain. And then Thursday, I'll start getting back into it. I have an appointment in the afternoon. Friday, I have appointments, a few appointments to run through. And then Saturday, I have a men's conference. So my work-life balance really doesn't look at the day by the day and the hours. It looks at a week. And I have to look at each week and say, what's the rhythm of this week? Because I'll have at least 1 or 2 days. This week it was Sunday, Tuesday, and then Saturday is my next big day. I'm going to be out from 8 in the morning till 3, and then Sunday I'm preaching, and so I'm going to be out 8, and then I have a luncheon that afternoon, so it's going to be another 8 to 3 days. So 2 back-to-back complete days. I'm going to need all evening Sunday night and in through Monday to get ready for my next meeting on Monday evening. Do you see? So I can't look at, just what's today. I have to look at the whole week and say, where am I going to take the large breaks that I need to take? That's what I mean by work-life balance. I always suggest to people that if you're going to look to work-life balance, you need to really create a weekly schedule. Now, at the beginning of ministry, this wasn't something I did. I didn't do a weekly schedule. I did a daily schedule. And I didn't stop to consider, every day can't be as busy as the other. I didn't understand that about myself, that I was a person who, if I was going to have a big day of interpersonal relationships, I needed a quiet day of no relationships, just sitting with God in order to recuperate. I didn't realize that at the beginning, and so I pretty much shipwrecked my life that way. What is it you need in order to be able to do what you're called to do for the long run. Because we don't want to be a flash in the pan. We don't want to have victory for a week or a year, and then the rest of our life be a shipwreck. What we want is long-term thriving and moving forward in the plan of God. So you got to know yourself. What is the work-life balance that you need that is going to both help you accomplish all of God's plans, but keep you healthy enough to maintain God's plans over the long haul? All right, we'll talk more about this some other time, and we're going to talk more about scheduling when we get together in How We're Going to Do It, Part 3. Until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.